GMA's life and family contributor and best-selling New York Times #1 selling author Lee Woodruff has a new book coming out. It is called Perfectly Imperfect. It's also her definition of life, and she's going to give us tips, more important than anything. And I want you to know, just because we're friends and you're GMA does not mean I'm going to hawk this book. Do you understand me?
Get it up
just
a little higher and a little more front and center,
does not mean I'm telling anybody they should buy this book when it goes on sale
tomorrow.
Thank you very much for that. Here's the beauty of this. People know your story with Bob, everything you lived through, but this book is something much more than that, in my opinion, because there's so many funny anecdotes about life in general, no matter what your life situation is, that you got done in here.
If I got you to laugh, then that's a huge compliment to the book, because what I wanted to do was create something that was funny and serious and a slice of life, really.
It's very good. I mean, right from the picture on the cover, you got me laughing.
All right, easy. I know where you're going to take this
with
right
these
now.
sneakers right here.
He doesn't like
that's all
sneakers.
I'm saying. But let's move on. It's not about what I like. All right. Very interesting, funny story. You just had your first child, Mac, right? Who's going to be 18, Bob told me. Amazing, amazing. You had a favorite nightgown that you wore a lot. Flannel, I believe.
Yes.
What's the story?
Granny nightgown. Bob told me for years he hated it. It was his mother's annual gift to me. So I'm getting out of the shower. Mac's just born, and I'm looking for the nightgown. I go, honey, where, have you seen the nightgown? He calls me over the balcony, points down, and this nightgown is like roadkill. It's been flattened. Cars have run over. It's in a puddle. I got the picture pretty darn fast.
Good. And it's kind of like a little bit of a metaphor for the book. There's a funny story, but then coming behind it is some good advice. You have advice for new moms. Keep the romance alive. What's the tip?
Get out of the nightgown. No husband wants to walk in and see sort of a weepy, barf-encrusted, new mother, and make a date night. My mother told me that when Mac was first born. She said, you got to keep your marriage alive.
Now, what is this? I don't understand, and this doesn't apply to you, but what is this about the knees and what you can do with your knees?
Clearly I wore the correct outfit today. I figure I got another year before I'm in pants full time. Probably something stretchy, preferably. But it's my knees that I feel like you notice a difference on when you get older. So I say Spanx, stockings, and when all else fails, the spray-on stocking in a can.
Everything I have in my office. If you need any of that, I have it right in my office.
Spray-on? Yeah, I noticed.
So Spanx are beautiful. Now, this is very interesting. Bob travels all over the world, always has, goes to exotic places, thinks about his wife, brings back beautiful gifts. You say you don't like them, and you use them as an example of what not to give? Tell me.
Okay, Chris, Exhibit A. All right, baby? Now, there's not anything inherently wrong with this ring.
Gorgeous.
Okay? Except that, look at Exhibit B. Short, stubby, crone-like, okay? Here's the thing. When you're gift-giving, research a little bit. I opened this box and I thought, in 20 years, he must have never looked at what I wear, because I would never. This is Snoop Doggy Dogg. This is Beyonce, maybe Liberace. This is not Lee Woodruff. So you got to open your eyes and look, and that's the #1 tip. Do a little research.
Now, of course, you did live through an amazing situation with Bob. You learn things about how to behave when you find somebody else in that situation, how to help someone else who's in a tough way. What are some of the top tips?
Boy, there are a lot of tips I love, but one of the biggest tips was everybody wants to call right away and find out what's happening. And that was one more thing I wasn't going to be able to do well that day after Bob was injured. So I loved it when people called and said, don't call me back. I just want you to hear my voice, want you to know I'm thinking of you and I'm ready to help. And with that was some of the best advice I got from someone here at ABC: subscribe to the CHIT system. So everybody that wants to help, you tell them they get one CHIT. You may call on them 6 months from now or 2 weeks from now, but it helps you not feel like the community beggar.